Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Dr. Josue Jean Baptiste, and today I'll be discussing the cultural integration challenges experienced by Costa Ricans and Panamanian students in the classroom. This presentation comes from real observation and instructional experiences, and my goal is to help light on how culture shapes student engagement, behavior, and academic performance. The purpose of this presentation is simple: to explore how students from Costa Rica and Panama navigate U.S. classrooms, where cultural expectations may differ dramatically from what they have known. Well, talk about communication styles, social dynamics, family expectations, and teaching approaches that can support their engagement. I want this to feel like a conversation, a look into real classrooms and classroom moment where culture mattered. In my classroom, I currently work with two multilingual students, one Costa Rican and the other is Panamanian. Both arrive with strong family support but different school experiences. The Costa Rican student attended in highly structured school system with strong teaching authority. The Panamanian student came from a more flexible and collaborative learning environment. These differences shape how they adapt and how they participate in the classrooms. Okay, Costa Rican students often come from an environment emphasizing respect, calm demeanor, and structure. Teachers traditionally set the pace and student followed. One example from my classroom, my Costa Rican student hesitated to ask questions even when struggling. When I approached him privately, he said, "I didn't want to bother you." This reflects a cultural expectation. Teachers are authority figures, not to be interrupted. The Panamanian student often shows strong social and verbal engagement. They may participate loudly, openly, or in a more expressive manner. In my classroom, my Panamanian student frequently explained assignment to peers, even when she wasn't fully clear herself. This came from a strong collectivist mindset, helping the group as part of learning. However, this can sometimes clash with expectations for quiet, independent work. Both groups are Spanish speaking, but their dialects differ. Costa Rican Spanish uses polite forms and unique idioms. Panamanian Spanish is fast paced and highly colloquial. My Costa Rican student often paused to search for the correct English words, while my Panamanian student spoke English more freely, but with several idiomatic transfer errors. Okay, freely, but with several idiomatic transfer errors. Again, the challenges were not about intelligence; they were about linguistic patterns shaped by home and culture, basically. Well, in my classroom, social integration is one of the biggest areas where I see contrast. The Costa Rican students tend to observe and wait before joining a group. Meanwhile, The Panamanian student jumps right in, sometimes overwhelming um, quieter peers. In one group activity, I watched a Panamanian student immediately take leadership. Meanwhile, the Costa Rican student quietly handed out materials and stayed in the background. Both were participating just differently. During a collaborative writing task, I assigned mixed groups. The Costa Rican student waited for his name to be called, even though the group was already forming. He later said, "In my country, you wait for the teacher." Meanwhile, the Panamanian student asked everyone, "So who's writing? Who's reading?" and kept the group moving. Both behaviors were culturally normal for them, but easily misinterpreted interpreted in the US classroom as shy or bossy. And it happens all the time. In another moment, I encouraged class discussion. The Costa Rican student provided a thoughtful but very quiet response. The Panamanian student later told me he knows the answer. He just needs to push his voice out. This comment showed her cultural value for confidence and expressive communication, something that isn't emphasized the same way in Costa Rican schooling. Both students show strong work ethic, but the Costa Rican student struggles with independent decision making, especially with open-ended assignments. The Panamanian students struggle with task consistency, sometimes finishing quickly but missing key details. There are no deficit. There are reflections of different educational systems where when teachers understand this, the misunderstanding disappear and support become more effective. Costa Rican families often expect their children to follow rules, respect authority, and avoid conflict. Panamanian families may encourage their children to be expressive, outgoing, and socially active. When I met their parents, I noticed the difference immediately. The Costa Rican parent asked, "Is he respectful in class?" However, the Panamanian parents asked, "Is she participating?" Two different priorities that influence the child's behavior. To support both groups, I have used strategies such as structured choice board, small group check-ins, visuals, linguistic, linguistic scaffolding, and culturally responsive grouping. Giving the Costa Rican student clear procedures increases confidence. Giving the Panamanian student leadership roles channel her energy productivity. When strategies match cultural tendencies, students feel seen, respected, and motivated. Technology plays a big role in the leveling the field. Tools like Flip, Google Translate, Read and Write, and bilingual glossaries help students express themselves more confidently. My Costa Rican student uses translation tools to clarify meaning before speaking. My Panamanian student uses Flip to record expressive responses that match her communication style. but a technology become cultural bridge, not just an academic support. The key message in this: Costa Ricans and Panamanian students do not struggle because they lack ability. They struggle because they are navigating cultural systems that operate differently from what they know. When teachers understand cultural expectations around authority, communication independence, a collaborative, the classroom becomes a space where both groups can thrive authentically. They can learn better. They could thrive and learn better with different spaces, different cultures. Thank you so much for engaging with this topic. I hope these insights help support multilingual learners in your own classroom. I, I now welcome any questions or discussion you would like to have about these cultural patterns, instructional strategies, or how to implement them effectively. If you have any questions, I'll have them now. Thank you so much.